Good day, everybody, and welcome to 2025. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday and a great start to the year. As we jump into this year, I wanted to take a look back and forward. So, if you read the newsletter or if you read the title of the video, we're going to be talking a little bit about Google search and kind of what happened this past year, and obviously take a look forward as to some of the changes that are on the docket as we head into the new year. But Google search has seen a lot of changes, both organically and from a paid perspective. We're going to focus more on the Google ad environment, but obviously in this world of Google, you really you got to talk about both of these areas of paid and organic. But when we look at paid search, so this is again something that I've done for a very long time. I actually just gave a training of it internally, and I walked through all the things that, from a high level, are going on from a Google paid perspective, and it was good because I've been doing this for close to 20 years, and it was very reminiscent of my early days of training and helping out, and we just really kind of discussed how Google advertising has changed over the years, and what's going on right now, and how clients really need to take advantage of these areas. And so during the training, I kind of reflected back on my own career, and I've probably got close to about $15 million worth of Google ad spend under my belt, and helping clients, local small businesses, all the way up to national campaigns. So I've done a lot in this capacity to help businesses build their brand through Google Ads, and it's an important pillar to doing your digital marketing. Back in 2005, 2006, it's what I started doing in this environment. I came from the radio world, and I was fortunate enough to land at an agency that was working in Google Ads, or AdWords at the time. And so, I've been in this space for a very, very long time, and it's been one that's been very, very lucrative for the clients that I've been able to help. But it's changed every year, every month, every week. It seems like there's obviously changes. So I wanted to cover some of the big ones. I'm not going to go through. There's a list of 10 here, so I'm not going to go through all these because some of them are more applicable to what's going on this past year, and then more importantly what's going on moving forward. But one of the things I did want to highlight is the ad copy. So if you think back, and if you've been around this industry of Google advertising for a while, it used to be that you had to write all the copy out, all the different title tags to the ads, and it was very cumbersome. But now it's a much different viewpoint on how the ads are written. So these ads are responsive search ads. You're going in and you're typing in, a lot of the verbiage into the platform, and it's kicking out. And again, AI is being used in this. But this report really uncovered some of the things that, again, are have been seen to work or not work in this past year. So I think one of the things is that shorter is better. So keeping things short, concise. Again, people are really just, they're not reading a lot of what they're seeing anyway. So it's one of those things that making sure that the keyword in the copy is really, prominent is really important. So, when you look at some of the things that are going into the ads now, there's images, there's a lot of, the extensions have been there for a long time, but the makeup of the ad has changed a lot. And making sure that you're always testing and trying different things is critical, and making sure that it's fully flushed out. So again, this past year, and I've seen it with my own campaigns, it's making sure that you're testing and trying different things, making sure that you've got the full thing flushed out, that you're adding images, and making sure that Google has all these things that it can show. One of the things I really wanted to highlight is, and I've kind of talked about this, but advertisers do not trust Google. It's been something that, again, has been highlighted time and time again, and it's becoming more so evident, with the court cases that are coming out, and just how when you look at this industry as a whole, their viewpoint on Google is that the trust is at an all-time low, and one of the things that I speak to is diversification. Which I'm going to talk more about when we look at the coming year. But we know that you need to be involved in this environment, but you don't always want to tie every single dollar to doing Google ads. So, and there's reasons, because people don't trust a lot of what's going on behind the scenes, and the costs are increasing, right? Inflation, dollars migrating from traditional into digital. These are things that have been happening for a very long time. But what we're really starting to see is that your cost per clicks are really rising. And so when you look at that, it's concerning, because I know for a lot of my clients, like, it's not like they're going in and adjusting their budgets, all the time. So a lot of times they're getting, less and less every month. So it's important to obviously kind of make sure that you're working with advertisers and working with your budgets to make sure that they're steady with the demand and the cost and how all that rolls out. But this past year, we saw again just another increase in the cost of it. Again, you can read this report, but a 17% jump is in just that fourth quarter year over year is a big number. So again, this is an avenue that we've seen for a very long time. I remember I used to work with local clients spending a couple $100, and they would get gangbusters out of running Google ads. Well, fast forward, in 2025, it doesn't work like that anymore. Literally, you have to be super aggressive in this environment. One, because other people are doing it, and two, it's just the nature of the beast that this is where people go to, and so there's a lot of competition. So I wanted to jump down to some of the third-party cookie information, and so again, this was kind of funny as we rolled into the year. The cookies were slowly getting removed, and then it all turned on its head, right? So if you remember some of my earlier videos, and if you've been around the space, like, again, it's something that Google pushed hard on and then completely axed it, right? So again, it comes down to money, like it is, as is with everything. It's one of those things that they didn't find an alternate way of going about this that was still going to be profitable. So they axed it, and it's kind of, business as usual to a degree. But one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that this is, a topic of conversation moving forward. So publishers and advertisers are really going to have to keep in mind, how we are looking at this data and making sure that it's, above board. So what I wanted to, kind of transition into, and this actually is coming from the training deck that I did. So I just pulled out this one slide because it spoke to obviously what we talked about for the coming year. And again, it's something that I think is really important, because you, at this time of year, are planning for the coming year, and you just want to make sure that you have all the information at your hand. Sorry. So when we look at it, and I've seen other videos, and a lot of the things that, again, I do in my own personal business to help advertisers is make sure that we have a holistic approach. So we know that Google is super important, but when we look at the full funnel approach, there's so many pieces to the puzzle that you need to apply your brand to in the digital marketing environment. So again, if you've been in this channel before, you know that search and social and the rest of the web are the conversations that I'm having all the time, because people need to have strategies for this. But then even if you look at it further, you want to make sure that you have strategies within each one of these pillars, right? So search has organic, it has paid. You want to make sure that you're optimizing your website. You're also going to make sure that you have, an advertising piece to that. And that's really important to making sure that you have a holistic approach, taking that data from Google ads and making sure that you're applying that strategy to SEO is, it's kind of basic, but it's something that's super important, and not everybody that unfortunately is doing out there. And I know it comes down to budget and, obviously resources and time, but like, you need to have this approach even at a minimal level to make sure you're holistically looking at all of Google. AI is changing this, just to kind of jump down to it. It's impacting the behavior model of how people are getting information. So again, we've all used ChatGPT. You're going in there, you're searching things. Google is still used for that product and service search. If they're looking for something local or a business local, they're going to be doing it in there. But, I use it myself. I've gone to ChatGPT and other places to do searches for things. So that's impacting behavior, and you have to stay up on top of that. And there's lots of, again, SEO related things that are going to be incorporated into making sure that AI is reading and picking up that content and connecting the dots there. Again, social, so important. Reviews, so important. So these are areas that, again, from your branding perspective, are key to making sure that you have that holistic thought process of a marketing approach in the digital environment. And what I mean by that is that if you're doing ads on Google, you're doing ads on social, you're doing ads in programmatic and connected TV and, streaming audio, if you've done all that advertising and then they go read those 5 bad reviews that you have out there, and that's all that you have, what's going to happen? You're going to lose that. We call that the leaky funnel, right? It's you're going to lose that business. You spent so much time and money and resources to get that person to, again, learn about your brand. And then if you have a bad, review out there and multiple, or if you're not controlling that narrative, if you don't have followers on social media, you don't have that social credit that we talk about, you're just never going to be able to really get a good marketing approach. So more ad dollars is not going to solve, this part of, a bad brand, a bad product, or whatever. So fix that first, or at least make sure that that's a focus point of, getting more reviews, getting more of your business, or fix what may be wrong with your business. It's, again, a really important thing to understand that these are a part of your holistic approach. And finally, this coming year, and it's, again, been something that is top of mind, is making sure you're maximizing your reach in all these different areas. So search and social, the rest of the web, these are all things that are going to be really important that you focus on as we get into this coming year. And again, when you look at what's going on in paid search and with Google, the more you're doing in social media, the more you're doing in connected TV, the more you're maximizing your reach in these other areas, the more that they can know your brand and search for that and go directly to you. Again, paid search is really important if they don't know who you are, but it comes even more important if they do. If they do that search and they connect it to that brand and they see your paid search ad, it's going to get a better action. It's going to get higher click-throughs. You're going to get a better return on your ad spend. You're going to get more out of that the more you build your brand around all these other pillars of search or social media and programmatic advertising. So again, when we look at this coming year, these are all really important pieces to the digital marketing puzzle. And you want to make sure that you at least start to have this understanding that these are things that are happening, but there's solutions to make sure that you're, again, driving the narrative, driving that approach on the entire funnel, at the top of the funnel, as they're choosing where to go, and then obviously when they've made that decision. So again, marketing is pushing that out there, and then you're pulling it in with all these different facets of Google advertising and your website. And so again, I help with all this. So if you're going through this and it's maybe gibberish to you and you're not really sure what you're doing in 2025, or if you have a leaky funnel, you have issues with reviews, or if you have issues with organic, or if you have issues with paid search, these are things that I can help out with, or I have connections that can help out with. So that's my job. That's my piece of helping local businesses and agencies and marketers across the country to be able to figure out. So if you have questions, or if you want to talk about your plans for 2025, feel free to reach out to me. And I would love to have that conversation and see where it goes. So again, thanks for watching this video, and much luck and God bless as we go into 2025. Thanks.